you know, the piece of coal and making it into a diamond. I'm saying this presenting my particular ability, mastery. This is there's no forgiveness or I don't think there's no forgiveness in wasting time in a video, whether it's a 4-hour movie or whether it's a 30-second blurb. Any 1 second, any shot, any scene that's extraneous, that does not contribute to furthering, you know, in terms of, you know, even in terms of motion picture or dramatic thing, in terms of any scene or movement or anything that does not further the plot, further the character, and further the theme, is a waste. And the work and the time and the rewriting of making a movie of whatever length is in number one, pouring without thinking, without stopping into the rough draft. And if the rough draft, like for full length, you know, 2-hour motion picture is 120 pages, somebody hands it to me and I say, no, I don't even have to read it. I will read it, and it will verify what I say. If it's 120 pages, it's too long or it's too short. You know, if someone gives it to me and it's 80 pages, I say, okay, now we have room to expand it. If it's 400 pages, great. It's like, you know, a heavyweight boxer who comes in at 400 pounds and has to take off a couple hundred pounds to go to fighting trim. That's the kind of script I like to see. If it's neat and all well done, I say, uh-oh, there's something wrong. Because it's in the, as I say, I use this word, it's compression, and probably has to do with probably the same physical thing as nuclear energy for all I know. But it's taking something and redoing it until there's not a molecule in there that's between the atoms or something like that. So this is what I can work with anyone, with all of you and whoever comes or doesn't come from now on. And with the huge outbreak of technical abilities, I mean, you know, when I first started, you would have, back in Hollywood, you would have to have, well, we know this, 10 buildings of this size to get what we can get in one little computer now of technical ability to put it on, and that's wonderful. And what I'm calling together is the union of the creative people. The people who have the creative ideas, the people who can get those creative ideas into form, and then the people who can get it out there to the world. Much of what I work in is comedy, and I invite that. The difference between, as I started out, what we perceive to be real and what is real. And I know I'm playing very much with the notions of putting on little 5-minute vignettes of people as they are, and then as they would be if they were their real self, and any energy that goes between those two realities. As a model, both for the person doing it and for people who see that they don't have to be the that this world has made all of us, including me. You know, it's amazing that we could be inside the Matrix, see the Matrix, say, yeah, that's the Matrix, and yet, where do we go? And my answer to that is where we go is into the reality of video. To me, I claim that video is as real as this one, if not more so. And the quantum mechanic people would probably agree with me in that the light that's moving in a video is a lot faster than the light that's moving in our bodies. But at least in the consciousness of the story of what we can put into a video is we can do things. We can fly. We're not limited by gravity. We can do anything. We can have people die. We can have them be reborn. It's way, way more real in the sense of what's possible than this reality. And throughout history, whether it's novels or plays or it's been the creative arts that have expanded and held an open expansion of the consciousness during times of whatever craziness you call the real world, the politics and the economics and the misdistribution of wealth and any of those silly things that people that we know are not real. And yet, we're sitting here, and I'm sure that some of us have more than others, and we don't really think we're going to get our billions of 1% of all the money in the world and have our $10 billion, even though we know that that's more real than the misdistribution and all of these things. I don't think that we can change things or improve things or make things more real, more the way they would have been had we not interfered with it, by doing it politically or militarily or economically or electing certain people will make things happen. And that was I don't go political. I do, but after the moment. But we can change it. We can, and not by portraying. This is my theme. Not by portraying a utopian reality, but by asking, what would the world be if we hadn't interfered with it? And what would you be, I be, if we had got interfered with by our parents, by our peers, by our schools, by the matrix that we grew up into? And portray that as a real thing.